Hey, Brenton here from Effortless Swimming. This is Feedback Friday. I've got just a short video today. The quality of the video isn't great, so I just sort of keep it to 2 points only. So in this video here, you can see with the swimmer, in terms of his body position, he's sitting quite low in the water. Those hips and the heels are really dropping down. One of the biggest causes of that is a combination of head position, but you can also see how the hand presses down a lot through this catch phase. And you can kind of see what that does to the legs here. So see how the legs are very far apart. All right, that's a big gap between the feet. We've got to keep the kick a lot smaller and tighter than that. Otherwise, this is like opening a parachute behind you. It's going to create a lot of extra drag. So if we can fix the catch phase of the stroke, get the fingertips to point down, so he can then press back behind him instead of the hand pressing down, those fingers still facing forwards, that is going to, in some ways, correct the legs, and it will stop that big opening of the legs out the back there. So we'd want to, first of all, just look at the head position and start with that, because a lot of errors in the stroke can be caused just by head position. So you can see how far he's looking forwards there. If we look at it in terms of, we want to try and keep the body and the head and the spine all relatively straight. You can see through this, all right, so we've got the spine there, then with the head forwards, it's like having this big kink in your neck. And if you're standing just normally and you look up, you'll probably find that your core doesn't have as good a connection through there in terms of keeping that strong and taut, and you want that strong and taut as you're swimming. But if you do lift the head up, you do lose some of that connection through there. So the head would be the very first thing that we would want to adjust to help improve the body position there. Core strength is a big one. So if this swimmer is not doing any type of core strength, it can be worthwhile doing even 5 to 10 minutes 3 times a week of some really basic core strength exercises, because it will help you in your swimming, and it will help take some of this arch out of the lower back there. Like carrying around this big backpack of water with you, if your hips are sort of sitting down this low and you've got this arch through there, if you look at how much water is just sitting in through there, in some ways it's like you're having to carry that through the water with you. Whereas what you'll see with the elite swimmers, they'll sit up with their head, their hips and their heels right at the surface. There's no extra water here, so there's very little drag that's being created. You'll see that most of their shoulders and their back is sitting just out of the water there, and that's something that we'd want to work towards. That really does take a while to work on, and depending on someone's mobility through their hip flexors and their back and their spine and shoulders and a number of other things, that can impact it too. But that's something that's really worth working towards over the course of a few months. Then with the catch, you can see it's in this fairly sort of dropped elbow position, a lot of press down on the water there. So if I was working with a swimmer, I'd keep it really simple. I'd start with head position, body position to begin with. I'd work on that for probably 6 to 8 weeks just to really get that down pat and happening, and changing the habits. Then I would work towards the catch and the pull through. I'd probably throw in some catch drills like doggy scoop drill in there, along with the head position, body position ones as well, just to start that process, because it will all work together. But the biggest thing there is really just head position, body position for the first thing. So it can help just to really keep things simple. If you're watching this video and you've watched a lot of our Feedback Fridays in the past, what I'd recommend doing is, if you can pick just one thing to focus on that you think might be the one for you, stick with that for a number of weeks, focus solely on that. Don't even watch the next Feedback Friday video, but just pick one thing and practice it, because one of the things that I see quite often is swimmers will try and do too much, and they'll try and work on too many different things, and it's this shotgun approach. But you've really got to have this laser focused approach in swimming, and that's why I like to keep it simple when I'm working with swimmers at either clinics or through our online coaching. Really just simplify it down to 1 or 2 points. So just be laser focused with your approach. Don't try 10 different things at once. All right, you're not going to see the results with it. Much better off just picking one at a time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, and this has been Feedback Friday.